Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Ōkami. Today we are going to be going through the entirety of our first dungeon, the Suta Ruins. One thing I really enjoy right off the bat in this dungeon is that it's the first time we see these really deep purples represented in game, and it's just gorgeous. Of course, it's also poisonous, and will disintegrate us upon contact, so that's a little bit of a problem. Well, we can't headbutt this wall down, it's way too solid, but Easton correctly points out that it is moving, really blatantly there. So we can't go left. The only other option for this beginning dungeon is to head over to the room on the right. By the way, if you want to know how much of a difference art style makes, consider that Ōkami was not always planned to be stylized like this. It was going to go for photorealism. There are some old photos and videos of the old dev builds, and it looks bad. Plus, the PS2 couldn't run it well, so they simplified everything and stylized, and it's like night and day. I can't imagine Ōkami in a different style than this. I can't imagine it holding up and being as timeless as it is in another style, or at least anchored to a realistic look. There's just so much soul in the art. So much personality. We're not going to hop over to that ledge. Notice the water in this room is not poisoned like it is in the main room. Still, it's just another Clover. Now here, this, I don't think is super important, but hey, we'll grab an incense burner, why not? There's a lot of treasure to be found in this dungeon. And we'll be getting a new ability at some point, too. If there's one big flaw with Ōkami, and specifically with this first dungeon, yeah, it's the beginner dungeon, it's the training wheels dungeon. But even given that context, it's still a little ridiculous in the hand-holding. Like, you could see that that was not a puzzle. It was not unclear what you were supposed to do there. You just jump up, which is something that you've done a lot in this game. This stone, as you can see, is just planted. It's too heavy to roll. So as we come down the hill, we get introduced to a new enemy. This is the Bud Ogre. Really like that Oni mask. I always forget how good some of the enemy designs in Ōkami are. So this one is quite different from any of the enemies we've fought so far. It has this impenetrable bulb on it. And not until we stun the ogre. Oh, I don't know why I keep forgetting that you can't do that vertically. Now we'll get the opportunity to stun it and draw a circle around it to cause it to bloom and open up, exposing its weak point. I think that's a pretty cool gimmick for an enemy. And then it also has a new floral finish. This is the first enemy we've encountered where you don't get the Demon Fang by power slashing it. You bloom it in its death throes instead. Same move that makes it vulnerable. And that unpetrifies the orb that we have to roll downhill. This one is not as obnoxious as some of the others that are coming up, or the one that we did earlier on in the game. This is just downhill and then getting it on the button. Oh, come on. You can do it. Orb. That's not gonna work, is it? That's a real bendy power slash. And all these statues have a little bit of yen in them, and a lot of fruit, and a little bit of ink. So, right off the bat, it doesn't look like there's too much to do until the Bud Ogres break in through the ceiling. And now you have to fight two at once, which actually does complicate things quite a bit. Just gonna attack this a little bit and hopefully stun it. Oop, I think I got hit by... Yep. Okay, that's gonna be you. You're gonna fire a projectile too. That's okay. Got that. Did either of those actually work? No, you have to... Do you have to wait for the circle to pop up? You have to wait for that animation? I didn't know that. Let's try to take care of this one before... Oh, no. That's gonna screw me up. Well, the one... No, they're both flying now, so they're both gonna fire projectiles from above. That makes this pretty quick. Now, which was the one I had already done damage to? Is it this one? Nope. So instead, you. Let's finish this. Come on. Oh, I ran out of ink. Yeah, this is the first time we've seen this. You lose your marking and your access to the beads. Now we should be able to just wail away until it does this and staggers. And we're not going to give this one a chance to close up its bulb. And bloom it for the Demon Fang. Oh, I actually didn't get hit by that one attack. I thought I did. Must have dodged just in time. Good shit. Now... Combine the two things that you now know about this room. That the ceiling was just busted open, exposing the sky outside, and that there are these sparkling, shimmering mushrooms that show up right after the fight. You have a limited amount of things that you could possibly try. So even if it's not obvious, just by process of elimination... And now with the hint from Isun, we know now to draw the sun in the sky. To give the mushrooms a little bit of light to make them grow. But, actually... Fungi don't photosynthesize, so, Hideki Kamiya should learn the biology lore. Really hope someone got fired over this blunder. And these look like little bits of ore. They are power slashable, but most of them don't contain anything except maybe some food and some yen, if that. But this will do lovely things for us, letting us progress through the dungeon. Now, where are we? We are just above the second room, I think. Just off of the main area. So we cross this bridge and we'll go up to the second floor. This should put us just above the main room. This really conspicuous camera pan over a plain old bridge. My nose felt all inchy since those mushrooms back there. Ah, shit. You have a pretty generous amount of time to outrun the collapsing bridge. And yeah, we are indeed back above the main room with the weird statue and the poisoned water. And our very first locked door. These are lockjaws. They are locks with personality. Love them. So now all we can really do here is go down. I think one of these is breakable, but we'll double back for it momentarily. Because this room, since we were in the we were above the main room before, this puts us in that room we couldn't access because of this dude, Blockhead. Knew someone was moving. None shall pass. Now we'll remember your name and face on the day you were judged by the funhouse cast. I will rejoice in your fall from grace with a cane to the sky like none shall pass. None shall not pass. Blockhead doesn't know about double negatives. Really hope he gets fired over that blood. So headbutting it makes the weak points glow for a second, and then you just dot them up with ink. Were my weak points so obvious? Aw, he's gonna die a warrior stat. Good for him. And what do you know? We get a shortcut back to the main room. More importantly, an exorcising arrow, shaped like a key. Good for driving away evil. Let's go put this thing to the test on the lockjaw. This is how we get back up. A couple of logs, vine-wrapped logs, fall down to create ramps for us. Is this the breakable wall, or is that the next one? This looks like it should be. Nope. Oh, it did break open something that had some cabbage in it. Lucky day for Amy. I can't stand cabbage. This is it. The funny thing is, this isn't even anything important. Like, it would have been nice to get a solar fragment here, but there's not a solar fragment to be found in this dungeon. It's just another stray bead. Oh, you know what? I said I hate cabbage. That's partially true, but for some reason I really like kimchi. This guy goes down real quick, real easy, and this is not a particularly difficult combat arena. And as you saw, this new blue demon scroll type, I could not just power slash it. Why do I keep thinking I can do that vertically? It'd be nice. It would make it a lot easier to bisect enemies. There we go. I love the Amaterasu breakdance. And we don't need Isun to give us a hint here. We know exactly what to do. We've done it before. We're going to use nice, thick brush strokes and rebuild the bridge. Nope, we don't want to be here yet. We want to move on to... Oops. Whoa. We want to move on through here. If you ever feel yourself getting lost in this game, a good rule of thumb is always to look for the lit torches. That's one of the main ways that the developers try to guide you in this one. And unlike most demon gates, this one is not optional. We have to clear all 3 of them out. So hopefully I can take care of the dead fish here. Nope, the green imp is gonna get on my case before I can do that. It's actually a little bit tricky to hit the floral finishes right when you're using a rosary weapon because of all the multi-hits. You have to cut it off just in time. Luckily, you can interrupt all of your attacks with a jump. Cool, we got double cherry blossoms on that one. Let's try to go for all 3. Yep. The only one who can really complicate that is the yellow imp. Oh, I got hit. That's not going to be a cherry blossom. Boo. But we have this great new tool to deal with the yellow imps. Let's tilt that a little bit so we make sure we get the bomb right over him so it goes and explodes right away. Even gonna get the fang off of him with that floral finish. Nice. Combat in Ōkami is very simple, but pretty satisfying at the same time. And let's try to get both of these in one bloom. Nice. Our favorite snack. And a treasure. Oop. The last one should have a bulb. Yeah. Bulb and some red imps. Oh, it's not reaching. Yeah. We'll only get the one fang, but that's okay. The main thing is just making sure that we don't get caught by this projectile. We'll wait for the circle to pop up this time. And we're gonna make sure we one-cycle this with a power slash. Can't wait to get a little bit more praise so I can invest more in my ink supply. By the way, if I haven't pointed this out yet, that is what the interface in the upper left is. The top part is pretty much your hearts, represented as units of solar energy. And then right below that is your ink supply. And the one with the red strike through it is the bottle of ink that you're currently on. And then you saw what happens when they all get depleted. You lose all of your powers temporarily. And your divine instrument. Oh, I didn't think I was gonna make that. Oh no! So now, at long last, we can finally cut off whatever this poison is spewing out of the statues, polluting all of the water in the main room. And hell yeah, even though we're in a dungeon, we still get these. Short and sweet, since we only needed to cleanse one small room. But still, God, that always looks so good! And that water is so inviting now. Now it looks like a great place for a swim. Plus, it would be loads of fun to just go down. It's something that a playful dog like Ume would have done. But no, Isun doesn't, no. Izun doesn't half-ass anything or clown around. It's purely all about the treasure hunting. So now, late in the dungeon, almost at the very end, we finally have a map of the place, and you can see the layout is not very complex. Still, we've gone on an interesting circuit through the place, which still makes this dungeon feel adventurous to explore. Or it makes you feel adventurous exploring it. But there's still one element of this dungeon that we haven't interacted with at all, and you could see them in the distance when I dropped down there, and you also saw them in the intro cutscene to the dungeon. They're those pink floating flowers hovering way out of reach in midair. Oh, wait, I don't even need to jump up. So finally, we can go into the body of this statue. You can see more of them hovering up there, and one at the top of the vines. So what we need to do in here is fill in and cleanse all of the grass. Which I've heard weighs more in Demon Souls now. In the Demon Souls remake. Not that I've had a chance to play it yet, because I'm still waiting on a PS5. Ooh. It's been such a nightmare trying to get my hands on one. I want to do this Demon Souls LP so bad. I just want to touch it. I just want to be with it. Keep worrying that the leather seats aren't real enough. I want to experience how heavy the grass is now. The weight of the grass has screwed me over in the past. So now that everything is cleared up, once again, another constellation appears. I love that you can already see the outline of the symbols long before he manifests. Damn, he's so cool. Oh wait, no, he's a huge dork. Lost his other symbol. This one, fittingly for the Suta ruins, is Sutagami, the last in the triumvirate of the Hanagami gods, the Flora gods. May the fresh spring growth bloom from your snow-white form, bring new life to the land that suffers under evil. And as you could probably guess, this new ability is tied to those pink floating flowers. He's the god that can make vines do his bidding. And one folktale says they used vines to tie his body. He tied vines to his body so they could fly. And this will be especially useful for... Oh wait, no, it doesn't work the other way around. You can't draw it from Ami to the flower. You have to draw it from the flower to her. The Konohana Blossom. And this is just a fun ability. Especially, it sucks that you don't follow the path that you trace, but it's still fun that you can just do that. That you have that kind of flexibility. And surfing on the vines is its own bit of satisfaction. And there are some other uses for this mechanic as well. So the trick to this is just looking for the green smoke on your cursor. If it's green, then it's gonna work. If it's not green, then you've messed something up and you need to redraw the line. So now we're going to follow the path all the way up and around until we get to the next set of blossoms here. Because we're trying to reach the top of the statue. One of the only locations in the dungeon that we haven't actually been to yet. And that's because we have a small puzzle waiting for us up there. Notice that that one is upside down. So it's just gonna deposit us whenever we try to draw a line between that and Ami. So instead, what we're gonna do is attach all of the vines. We're gonna attach all of the Konohana blossoms using vines to the hooks so that they'll lift this shell. And that exposes a little pit we can jump down. And since Amaterasu does not take fall damage, we can fall down any pit we damn well please. And this puts us just before the boss room of the dungeon. Now, on the lead up to it, let's grab these chests and then take a quick look around and see if we might get a hint at what's going to be waiting for us on the other side of that door. Isun even gives you a chance to turn back if you're not ready for the fight yet. The music here is so good. I could just listen to this one track forever. And I could say that about any given track in this game, of which there are like 230 or something. If you played every track back to back, it's like 5.5 hours of music. 5.5 hours of brilliant music at that. So that gate is going to act as a respawn point on the very off chance that we manage to die to this boss. Nice going, Furball. I keep telling you not to space out like that. Oh, this isn't shaped like a friend. You know, this big old flower. Ignore the eyeballs. Flowers like this are usually packed with treasure. What? Isun? What? Hey, is that a dog? I found this cool dog. The treasure in this flower was dog. Wait, boss is not flower with eyes at all. It's much more insidious. It has 8... Oh no! So being an enormous love letter to Zelda, our first proper dungeon is a forest temple, and the first dungeon boss is kind of an analog to Queen Gohma. It will not allow you to ruin the Master's triumphant return. Way more hideous than Gohma, though. Especially the N64 blocky, jagged Gohma. Spider Queen, sticking your nose where it does not belong will get you killed. Speak your last words, fool. Amy seems bored. How dare you! Dog is not usually on my menu, but I shall make you an exception. What are you talking about? I saw that dog you gobbled up. Besides, this ain't no dog. This here is a god who is also a dog and behaves a lot like a dog and barks and digs like a dog. Man, this boss still looks great all these years later. Everything about this game does. Oh, God, I love Ōkami. Oh, right, no running. Or, I mean, running is kind of your default. And don't ever stop running. That's the trick to this fight. Don't stop running. Just move and move and move until finally you can draw the vine between the hooks on her butt. And you can do that twice. Oh, and the Konohana flowers. The hooks between... the vines between the hooks on the butt and the Konohana flowers. And you expose the eyes, and you have to pop each one. And then, if you stay too long, you overstay your welcome, like this. That's not a ton of damage, to be honest, for getting greedy. And she doesn't do a whole lot aside from that. She takes a lot of stabs at you. She does this attack where she causes debris from the ceiling to crash down around you, but as long as you're staying mobile, you're really not in any danger at any point in this fight. Ooh, no. I have to get out. So instead of being a 2 cycle, which that's a little bit ambitious, it's gonna be a 3. And each time you do that, it's only 2 hooks that you have to attach to her butt. Only 2 vines. Is that gonna work? Yeah, great. So that should about do it. I had to waste a little bit of time circling around to the right ones. Ooh, this might not be a 3 cycle. Nope. I missed some damage. I love Zelda bosses. Even though they usually aren't very challenging, I really enjoy the gimmicks and how video gamey they are. Some of that's definitely nostalgia. Would you stop? Please, I'm gonna bait an attack out just so she stops doing this. I think this just spawns some ads or something? It's been so long since I've seen that attack. Okay, got 1 hook in the butt. Doing okay. Took a hit. And I think she just broke a hook. This is a bad angle, too. She's being really ornery. I appreciate these kinds of bosses in an entirely different way than I appreciate like a boss in an action game or something like Bloodborne or Devil May Cry. But I enjoy them all the same. Something about every boss just having a trick and a pattern, it just makes my brain happy. Definitely not gonna miss the chance to pop this final eyeball. future bosses will be a little bit more fun. But, like any good Zelda boss, that did test our ability to use the mechanics that we learned in the dungeon, and that we picked up in the dungeon. And thus, Amaterasu was able to traverse the vine-covered ruins and defeat the devious Spider Queen, lurking within. The ugly arachnid's body had been turned into a beautiful blossom, and a feeling of tranquility reigned throughout the ruins. Inside the hardy blossom was discovered a tiny and defenseless dog, presumably consumed by the fearsome queen. Just when everything had begun to settle down, snarling beast, a weapon long sealed away by the Spider Queen's magic, appeared before Amaterasu's eyes. This is a new reflector divine instrument. Reflector marked with a beastly seal grants ink bullet power. The Spider Queen was hiding a sacred weapon. Tricky old bag. Maybe we'll get more weapons if we defeat some other monsters. Anyway, I can't wait to see what this one does. Look at that, Amy, the dog's just sleeping. Wonder if this is Ume, you know, the dog that kid was looking for. Yeah, the dog that we came into the dungeon to rescue. We know Issun, we know! How about a good victory howl? Might even wake him up. As far as being an annoying companion goes, I think Issun is not as bad as Fi. But somewhere in the vicinity of, like, Ocarina of Time Navi. Fi will forever be the worst one. Bad doggy, give me back my key. I gotta go save Ume. My dude! My boy! You need glasses? Must have been so scary being all alone. Yeah, we're just gonna toss your dog. That dog is pissed. Now your dog, kid. He was deep within the ruins and he didn't seem to want to leave. Really? How come, Ume? Why is Ume mad at Kokari? You only think you left your dog behind. Truth is, he decided to stay at the ruins himself. But why? Maybe he was trying to set an example by showing even a dog could have an adventure. Look at it this way. There's not much separating a boy from a man. They grow up before you know it and accomplish great things. What? We're making all sorts of leaps. So I guess you know everything, Ume. Like how my dad told me to go fix the bridge destroyed by the storm. And how I tried to get out of it because I was scared of failing. But your fearless adventure has changed me. You've given me the courage to stop shirking responsibility. Oh shit, it's Dad's fishing pole. I lost that in the forest. You're losing everything, my dude. You lost your dog? You lost your dad's fishing pole? Well, I'm gonna fix that bridge all by myself. Boy, is Dad gonna be surprised. We really went for a swerve in the lesson that we were supposed to take away from that dungeon towards the end. But we'll get back to this next time. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.